Welcome to part 8 of my career. We are going to be taking on Tyler Breeze. We're going to see what we're doing in this week's episode of Superstars. And I've actually changed my mind. I'm going to save NXT Arrival for the very next episode after this. So let's just get to move on today. We'll see what new things transpire. We'll see if once again we get into an all-out brawl at the beginning of the match. Tyler Breeze seems to ambush me every single time. Let's see if we get one on the upper hand this time. Maybe if we were in first, we could be able to assault him. I think that should be an option that they give you in this. Maybe there is one later, but until then, we just have to stick with whatever we do. And man, so I had an ultrasound on my shoulder. Oh, are we just going straight into this? Oh, ref bump. You can't really get a chair out from under the electronic board, but while the referee is down, is there... Oh, there is nothing there. So what we're actually going to do is bring out... Oh, the baseball bat. Actually going to throw that out before the ref wakes up and sees that I was cheating.
He's not exactly hopping up to his feet here. Whoa, what do you expect, Michael? Did you see what just...
You know what? I'm actually going to see if we can win this match by count. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, right next to the bat. About as close as Eddie Guerrero was to DDTing Lesnar.
We'll just have to wait and see if he'll be able to utilize his trademark tenacity and proclivity for...
Oh, jeez. Come on. Come on. Let's get up.
He's my kind of guy. He's too good inside the ring.
Damn it.
On the floor for long. I don't agree with you, King. He doesn't want to do this outside.
Oh no, I thought I was going to be able to get in before he could finish his taunt, but it all worked out in the end. So we won't worry about the count-out victory this time. So we're just going to go straight for an elbow drop onto his throat. So yeah, I had an ultrasound done today on my shoulder. If you've been watching any of my previous Supercard videos, not so much the My Career ones, about a month and a half ago now, no, closer to a month ago, I mentioned how I'd hurt myself at work, where I most likely, from what I've been told by the doctor, is a torn biceps tendon, which, man, believe me, this sucks. Even right now, if I look at my arm, I can see there's something wrong. And you know what? It's it sucks really. If you end up hurting, especially your arms are very important. You use them for everything. So if anyone is experiencing arm pain or they have trouble lifting things, oh jeez, I'd say get it checked out instantly, because you don't want to be like me right now and just in pain non-stop. But I get to go see my doctor after this weekend, and maybe they can tell me what's going on. So that was a minor reversal there. I still need to get the major one. So just go straight into the back body drop. Into a... Oh, he couldn't even kip up. He's out of stamina. Come on, climb up. Climb up.
Beauty shot. We've seen it flatten some big names so far, including Hideo Itami, Sami Zayn, and
straight into another back body drop, a twisting back body drop. It actually gave us our finisher. I think once you hit 150% of momentum, you get a finisher. So I think this should be enough, combined with all those baseball bat hits. Look at that. One finisher and it ended the match. I don't think that's happened yet. And I haven't even upgraded any points yet. Apparently that was a match for the record book. According to Jerry Lawler, a 3-star match was good enough for him. But I can't wait till we make it onto the main roster, at least. We could start doing some of the things with Authority. Of course, with this character, I am going to sideline all the way with the Authority, even if it means we have to beat up Sting. As much as I'm a Sting fan, character to be heel. I'll create a absolutely deformed, weird-looking character eventually. Maybe if I decide to do a second series of my career. But I'll have him as a spunky... Let's see, we are against him in the next pay-per-view. I want to create a really deformed person. Let's go. I'm a wrestling prodigy.
I'm ready for him.
I want to create a completely ridiculous-looking character. Almost be like a deformed-looking Eugene as a spunky underdog person who people just need to realize he can wrestle. And that's going to be the plan for me. I just want something to look ridiculous.
Back to you, Cole.
Because Renee Young's not telling us anything new. So I've really got to get back on to recording the 2K showcase stuff. I need to get the Stone Cold one done. Because man, those video packages are so cool. And even the bonus matches, where you get to go against Mikey Whipwreck. I believe Brian Pillman is a bonus match. And we've got Joey Styles commentating over the Mikey Whipwreck match, which how many I can't even remember how many matches Austin even had in ECW. I don't think it was many. I think maybe he had like 3 matches. Because really, I think he was only really brought into WCW to, not WCW, ECW, to kind of vent his frustrations after being fired by FedEx or on the phone. I can't remember. The story seems to change each time. But of course, while in ECW, we got that legendary Monday NyQuil where the big boys play with each other promo. So, at least that came out of that. Which, I guess that's pretty, that's good. You got to see Austin kind of start his promo ability. Which is, you know, if you're a big Austin fan, I didn't even realize I reversed that. If you're a big Austin fan, it's, you know, ECW was very important when you look at wrestling in the 90s. Even though they were on TNT, you know, they weren't really promoted. Paul Heyman said it best. ECW wasn't for TNT. It was to see how wrestling would do on their network. Like, what was the interest in wrestling, which then from there they would... There was no way they were going to get Nitro. You know, Billionaire Ted was not going to give up Nitro off TBS, the Superstation and all that, so... Which, was it TNN or TNT? I think it was TNT. Which, of course, ended up becoming Spike TV. ECW was just the test to see what was the interest in wrestling. Which, of course, you know, they had a crappy time slot. They weren't really given much funding, if anything. And there was barely any advertisement for it, kind of like TNA right now, except ECW was good. But ECW was very important. It's what kind of stepped everyone else to put up their game. They stopped giving wrestlers, you know, day jobs. Like, Kane used to be the Doctor of Dental Surgeon, or Unabomb, or the Christmas Monster. You know, we had the Goon, IRS. Everyone seemed to have second jobs. Nobody, I guess wrestling wasn't paying the bills back in the late 80s and 90s. Of course, ECW forced wrestling to change, which is very important. You know, Paul Heyman was very about, you know, what's the word? Accentuate, or, you know, promote the positives, hide the negatives. Which, a guy I work with, we were talking about stuff like that today. Like, let's look at the Sandman. Showed up in his, you know, his U.S. flag sweatpants, and he just come out with a Singapore cane, and he just get drunk and beat up people. That's all people wanted to see with the Sandman. That's all it really was. You know, you're not going to see a great technical 5-star masterpiece out of him, but if you wanted to see a guy get drunk and just beat people with a cane over their head for hours on end, Sandman was your guy. Tommy Dreamer wrestled in a t-shirt and just, you know, would set himself on fire or cut himself up with barbed wire or just take punishment from the Sandman. And that's it, you know. They couldn't wrestle, you know, 5-star matches unless when, you know, they had the Dean Malenkos, the Chris Benoit, the Rey Mysterios, Chris Jericho, Lance Storm. You know, they had the crazy soap opera stuff that people wanted to see, which then, you know, led to bloodshed, but they also wanted to see technical wrestling, great wrestling, which is what everything ECW offered. They really... It's one of the most important things. A bunch of the big stars were there. Of course, we know Austin was there. Even Sid Vicious was there. Eddie Guerrero was there. Chris Jericho. You know, for a little bit, I guess you can say Mike Awesome was a big star. Taz was in ECW. Sabu. You know, it was all very important for what happened. Even Rob Van Dam, who during the invasion was... head and shoulders one of the most popular wrestlers that came over. The Dudleys, who are still on TV right now, challenging for the tag team titles. It's just crazy to think, you know, back in the 90s, how many of those people would still be on our TVs. Still making money. You know, a lot more than I could ever hope to make. A lot more than most people would make. But I bet they would, but, you know, as soon as they get on that Brock Lesnar deal. So, let's see if we can just taunt this last little bit to get our momentum all the way up for a signature. Let's pick him up. Let's hit our signature move. Let's see if once again Sami Zayn bleeds. Not this time. I'm thinking of changing up the signatures and everything eventually. Not right now. Let's get the gimmick strong. Just being someone who hates people, especially hates Tyler Breeze, and just wants a championship, who's disrespectful, but bold, and he's a heel. There should be enough. So we'll just skip through the replays here. We get paid for this one? Yep, $12.50. So we're up to 10,000 virtual currency right now. I still don't think there's anything we can buy. I would like to have a manager, but I'm thinking of saving up to either get Lana or perhaps even Paul Heyman. And there's Wade Barrett. I hope they take away this stupid King gimmick of Barrett. Like it, I don't know why they keep going back to gimmicks that never worked, but they try to get them to work each time. Especially this King one. It's awful. The King Barrett thing is just ridiculous. It didn't work for Mabel. It didn't work for Sheamus. Can you imagine if they made Stone Cold? They gave him a King gimmick? Who even knows what the showcase mode would be right now? It'd be, you know, the 50th John Cena showcase probably, if Stone Cold never happened. If he was just put a King gimmick. Can you imagine King Ringmaster? That'd be one of the most ridiculous things ever. Thank God they don't have it. So, we're at about 14 minutes right now, so you know what? We're going to go through the NXT Arrival pay-per-view. We're going to be making our pay-per-view debut. And we're even going to interfere in our tag team partners match. It's been a while since we've helped out. And there will even be a 4-way title match. So it could be a completely different person that we end up challenging for.
Back and forth over the weeks. Finally, we'll see who the better man is.
So that was nice there. That little package thing they had at the beginning. I can't remember which wrestling game it was. I think it was Here Comes the Pain, all the way back on the PlayStation 2. In the season mode, whenever it came to pay-per-views, and you were against someone, it would do like a full-on blue video package, and it would just, you know, it'd be the same thing. I think it was like one of 2 video packages it would play. But, you know, it was cool to see things like that. Like, I remember once, like, I think I was feuding with Eric Bischoff, and he's, like, jumping off the top rope, driving me through the announce table in his karate gear, and, you know, everyone's bleeding, and I thought, like, that was so cool to see all of that. And it's nice to see they're kind of doing something like that. If, like, you know, the thing they did back in, when would this have even been? 2002, 2003? It would have been when Lesnar was still around. Of course, the game was about, he was the cover star. You know, it seems to be whenever they find something good, they take it out of the next game. Which, that season mode was crazy. I think I ended up going through like 30 years of the season mode. And I remember, like, after 30 years or whatever, like, Shawn Michaels challenging for the title, and the year was like 2032 or something. I'm like, man, I don't think Shawn Michaels will ever be wrestling for this long. So we're going to go for a diving shoulder tackle, shades of John Cena. So we're actually going to go for twisting European uppercut here.
He's in big trouble.
And I'm glad that the chain wrestling doesn't seem to happen as often now. I remember last year, as long as both of you were still in the green, you would have to chain wrestle. And it was one of the most frustrating things ever. And because the chain wrestling just became very annoying. Apparently that was a different move. And the chain wrestling could become annoying because it's just a rock paper scissors game, and then find the hot spot, things like that. And, you know, it just became annoying.
In the ring, he's a master manipulator and an expert opportunist, and of course, his own secret admirer. But why let details like that?
So we saw on SmackDown, Tyler Breeze has like a VIP section thing going on right now. I don't know if it's just me, but that reminds me a lot of... Do you remember when Orlando Jordan was in TNA? And he was doing that bisexual character. We had like the Love Lounge or whatever, and he'd come down to the ring from warding tape, and he'd have, you know, a not very dressed lady and a not very dressed man. All that weird stuff. That's the VIP section. That's all it's making me think of when I see Tyler Breeze doing this, and it's a bit uncomfortable seeing it like that, but you know what, he's got Summer Rae with him, so that's okay. So I don't know if this is supposed to be some sort of grudge match or something, but Tyler Breeze hasn't even laid a grapple on me, so this is quite the grudge match. And I'm glad my character said he's not even on my level. Because right now this is showing Tyler Breeze is not on my level. You know what? I think I can actually go for the finish here. He hasn't been able to get anything going. He's had nothing hit on me. But looking at his energy and the damages, he's... Unfortunately, he's not the spunky underdog, and he doesn't have a comeback, so... I don't think he will be able to do anything. So is this just a reverse DDT? Let's see if we can... Running elbow drop. Every time that happens, I always think he's going to do some sort of running splash, just like the Ultimate Warrior. Which, for a guy with muscles that big, it was very strange to see him do the Ultimate Splash. And with all the walking going on upstairs, I do believe people are home now. And, you know, it's 1:30. Hopefully this is going to be it. Oh no. So I've never actually seen that. You see that he grabbed the ropes. He grabbed the ropes right there. But unfortunately, the referee didn't see it. I've never actually seen that happen in this. See if we can actually get a replay of that. Oh, apparently not. So please don't tell me that means the match, this feud will continue. That's not what I want. But you know what? That's the blow off to this. We're going to interfere in our tag team partners match in the very next episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and please take care.